What's going on, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. A few guys have been asking me recently, man, why can't they attract the women that they want? And you know, I normally don't cover topics like this, man, because the whole dating game and all that, you know how I feel about that. You know, I don't think that's the most effective and efficient way for men to deal with women. But I've gotten this question from a couple of different guys over the past couple of days, so I figure it's something I should cover. Now, besides the fact that you're pursuing women from someone else's perspective of how women should be pursued, as opposed to doing it the way that you feel best doing it, you're trying to learn how to deal with women. There's other issues. The fact is, you are attracting the women that you want. You're just too blind to see it. But today we're going to help you understand why you're overlooking the women that you want, because you don't know them when you see them. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, the reality of the situation is this. When you see a 7 or an 8, and you really tell yourself as a man that a 7 and 8 aren't high enough quality for you as far as physicality goes, then you're already losing, because you're putting yourself in the mindset that you're going to see a perfect woman. So let's eliminate this concept that there are any dimes anywhere. There are no dimes. Because on a scale of 1 to 10, dime equals perfection. You are part of the problem in your own life if you think you're going to meet a woman who fits into the description perfect. Secondly, where are you meeting women most times? Even when you think you see a dime, where is she? She's at a club. She's at a bar. She's at a party. She's at an event. She's at a function. Let me tell you something. Every 9 or 10 you think you see, it's a 7 or 8 dressed up to look her best. No woman looks the same dressed down as she does dressed up. So if a woman can only be a 9 or 10 when you see her dressed up, guess what she is when she's dressed down? She's that 7 or the 8 that you see at Walmart. You're never going to see a dime at Walmart unless she absolutely has to stop for something on her way to an event or a function. Women don't get dressed up to look their best on a daily basis just to go about their day. And what you have to understand is, by the time you approach a woman when she's looking her very best, she's already gotten attention from 5, 10, 15, 20 guys already. So her ego is through the roof. She's feeling herself. So you're rarely going to be able to accost a woman's attention when she's feeling herself like that, because in that frame of mind, a woman doesn't want to meet a man. She just wants you to join into the other guys who are giving her attention. But that same woman, when she's a 7 or 8 at the grocery store and you're overlooking her because she's not dolled up, most of you men have never even met a woman at a grocery store. Bad chicks go get grocery too. Most of you men have never met a bad chick at Walmart. Well, guess what? Bad chicks go get grocery at Walmart and go get items from Walmart as well. You guys are too busy trying to find women who are dressed up to be their best. And the only place you're going to find them is at those events and those functions on those days where they get dressed up because they know there are going to be hundreds, even thousands of men out to give them validation. The one thing you cannot compete with, no matter how fly you think you are, how much quote unquote game you think you have, is a woman who is filled to the brim with the validation of other men. That's why IG chicks don't really get at you when you hop in their DM like that. Even rappers and guys who are rich, IG chicks be putting them on blast. You know what I'm saying? Just make a post about somebody jumped in their DM, post the comment, post the message and everything. Why? Because those women aren't in a receptive frame of mind when they're looking their best. When a woman is out at Walmart, I'm talking about, listen, if you see a woman who's a 7 or 8 just on a regular day, don't you know she dresses up to be a 9 or a 10? She dresses up to be that way. So the same woman you see out at a club and she's a 9 or a 10 and she's not giving you any attention or any play or anything, That's the same woman you just passed by at Walmart who's a 7 or 8 on a regular day. If a woman wakes up a 7 or 8, you can best believe, man, that she dresses up to a 9 or a 10. So you men are complaining that you don't get the woman that you overlook. Make me understand it. How you don't pay attention to the woman and then complain when the woman doesn't pay attention to you in return. The bottom line is you men have to understand that women are like old school cars. I can go buy a 69 Lincoln Continental and you look at it, it just looks like a Lincoln Continental. It's clean, been well kept, but it's all original. I go put some shoes on it, throw some paint on it, throw some technology on the inside. And before you know it, you're looking at it like it's the greatest thing you've ever seen. Why? Because I dressed it up to be a dime, but it was already a 7. It was already an 8. You men are complaining about things because you're not looking at things from the proper perspective. So if you're not getting 7 or 8s, then don't worry about getting 9s or 10s. You gotta, like, what are you doing with your life? The problem is, man, you men are looking for something that looks a certain way. And there's no way that all of you men can think the same thing is beautiful. We are too different. We are too individualistic to believe that any of us can view everything the same and view beauty from the same perspective and, log into the same mindset when it comes to what's attractive. So what's a dime to you may be a 7 to me. What's a dime to me may be a 7 to you. But the bottom line is, regardless of where that stands, if you see a woman who is a 7 or 8 at the car wash, trust me, she is one of those same women who don't give you any attention or any play when you see her out at a function, because then she's dressed up to her best and men are treating her like she's the prize. When a woman is in the mindset that she's the prize, just like a relationship, once you put your woman in the mindset that she is the prize, you are not going to get a positive interaction with that woman anymore. You can hang it up. There's never going to be a positive interaction between you and a woman that you elevate to the level of being the prize. Now, you can handle that in a relationship because it's you with a woman one-on-one. But if you just meet a woman somewhere and she is looking, if you think she's looking that good, then everybody else at least thinks she's looking pretty good. Now, you're not going to see a woman that you think is a dime and somebody else thinks she's a 6, maybe an 8. The bottom line is you men are sitting overlooking the women that you want because they're not dressed up and dolled up. You mean tell me you ain't never had a woman who was beautiful waking up? Okay, well, imagine that woman dressed up. You are getting the women that you want. You just don't know it. And the whole concept of why am I not attracting the women I want? Now, see, I don't understand this. You believe in approaching women. You think you have to approach women. You think you have to cold approach women. Well, what do you mean you're not attracting them? You're not trying to attract them. You're trying to approach them. Help me understand this, man. Like, you guys are confused, man. Why aren't I attracted to women? Why am I not attracting the women that I want when my game is to approach women? You can't attract what you approach. So if you're asking me why the women don't give you any play when you approach them, that's a more logical question. And I'm telling you why that is. You are looking at women when they're at their best and they're feeling their cockiest and they are not even trying to meet men. The majority of women who are out at a function or at a club are not out to meet someone when they know they're absolutely drop dead gorgeous. They're not trying to meet anyone. They want validation on those days. The majority of men who have beautiful women like that did not meet them at a club, did not meet them at a bar, did not meet them at a function. He met them running at the park. He met her getting a car serviced at the dealership. You know how many bad chicks, man, I've come across, man, just at the dealership, getting my car serviced. They're there getting their car serviced. Well, they see me in there with my laptop working. Got my tablet on the side, got my laptop right here, and I'm on my phone at the same time. I may take a business call while I'm in the lobby right there. That woman is interested in what I'm doing because here I am, a man who obviously is in some type of position that she's not in because she had to take off work or do this on her off day. She can't work while she's there. Here I am, a man who obviously is working for himself in there working. She's drawn to that. She's interested, intrigued. You don't attract women. Women are intrigued by you. That's how the game goes. Stop looking for women only when they're looking their absolute best. Because you're going to be resigned to being in this pool of guys that's trying to meet a woman at a club or trying to meet a woman at the bar when there are 50 other men approaching her all night long. That's not the best way to interact with women. That's not the best way to interact with business. That's not the best way to interact with anything. That's why when you have a business meeting, they set you up a one-on-one business meeting. They don't set you up with a bunch of other guys in there at the same time trying to pitch a concept or trying to create a business transaction. No, you have your one-on-one time. Why? Because that's how business works. Would you accept an attempt to broach someone for a business transaction if you knew you were going to be in a room with 150 other guys doing the same thing? Or would you go over there across the street where they're telling you, hey, you're our only appointment for today? Exactly. Stop complaining about things that are right in front of you because you put on blinders that other men tell you to put on and you don't see the world from the proper perspective. The 7s and 8s you pass by every day are the same dimes you see at the club. It's just that simple. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.